long do we have now? Just about 5 minutes, 6 minutes.
Okay.
What kind of tape recorder is that?
Ewart, Swiss.
Oh, Ewart.
No, that's
this
the
is the
Niagara.
Niagara.
Oh, that's
No,
Niagara.
this is Niagara, yeah. We have a Niagara and Ewart, that's what.
Okay. Can we have the door shut?
Do you like that better than the Ewart?
Yes.
You
Better
do, huh?
quality.
Oh, it cost
Yeah.
about 4 times as much.
Uh-huh.
Speaking with Bob Dylan, do you say Dylan or Dylan?
Oh, I say Dylan, or whatever. I think that's anything you say, really.
Did you take it from the Welsh poet, named Dylan?
No. That's I guess I would say a rumor made up by people who like to simplify things. It's the name of my family, but it's the name of my uncle's family. It's not my first father's name. It's the name of my mother's side of the family, and it's spelled Dillon. And I changed it from there.
Do you consider yourself a poet or a songwriter?
I don't consider myself either one of those two things. I did when I first heard the words, Of course, songwriter, you hear that when you're very young. Poet, I never heard that word really. I never really could think of myself as such until I came to New York. And for a while, I did think I was a poet. But I don't consider myself anymore from seeing all the rest of the people who are called poets, too. And I just don't like to refer to myself as a poet because it puts you in a category with a lot of funny people,
When did you first find yourself writing poetry or verse or writing?
When I was about 8 or 9, I wrote. I've been writing for a very long time. I mean, if you can say that, I mean, I don't know if most people write when they're 8 or 9, but I actually did write poems at that age, poems that rhymed, about the flowers and my mother and stuff like that. But, so I've been writing for a while.
What made you start singing?
I just did it, It was a natural thing to do. I started a long time ago, too. I started singing after I started writing. I started that when I was about 10 or 11. And started out just country and western, Hank Williams, Lefty Frizzell kind of things. Hank Williams, I think it just died, and I started playing sometime around there.
Was he one of your first influences?
Yeah, I tried to sing everything he would sing.
What other influences have you had?
I've had a lot of people that tried to do things the way they did. As it stands now, there's no influence. Maybe I've taken. I don't really know the extent of the influence that they have in what I do. I've had. Hank Williams was the first influence, I would think, I guess, for a longer period of time than anybody else. He influenced. Nobody influenced what I wrote at that age because I didn't really see anything that anybody wrote.
Well, let's put it this way. Did you have any idols when you first started writing and singing?
Sure. Well, not when I started writing. When I was singing, I never sang what I wrote until I got to be about 18 or 19. I wrote songs when I was, younger, 15, but they were songs. I wrote those. I never sang anything which I wanted to write. You understand? The songs I wrote at that age were just 4 chords, rhythm and blues songs, based on things that the Diamonds would sing, or the Crew Cuts, or the groups of like this, in the Still of the Night kind of songs, But well, whatever have you.
Mm-hmm. What's your reaction to the success that you've had?
I honestly don't have any reaction to it. I've been at it I've been doing this too long. It's not. It's an accidental thing, really. I never strived for it, and I don't plan to accept it, for that much longer period of time. it just works hand in hand. That's all. The money that I do make from the success, it's not as easy as just saying success brings in money, because the money, what the success does is, what the money does is to keep, to enable you to stay away from the causes of your success. Really, if you follow me to some degree.
Dick Gregory said this, that the people who made him famous, the people who could only afford 35 cents for a bottle of beer, can no longer afford to see him. Is this what you're trying to say?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I always played for free to those people. I don't know about Dick Gregory. I never, those people didn't make me famous. I always played for free. The people that made me famous were the people that bought Blown in the Wind and things like that.
When did you realize this success was happening to you?
This immediate success you're talking about now out here, this thing we're doing?
This thing that's made you world famous.
Not too long ago, really. I never really realized before, 4, 5, 6 months ago that I couldn't go into a restaurant. I didn't really know it was that bad, But, I could never think of that, because that's, does tricks with your head, like when you can't go someplace, where everybody else can go and be left alone. You can't go down to, all-night drugstore or something and just sit there all night. And it's, my whole life I'm used to staying out all night in public places. So gone now, that's all it's taken. Do you have a cigarette, Dan?
Do you resent this?
No, I don't resent it. I don't feel I have any right to resent it, because if it's my own fault if I go down there. I have no right to resent people that come up to me and bother me. I don't, I get mad. I don't say mad. Sometimes I don't get mad. Sometimes I do. I know it depends. I usually try not to make it out. If I'm if I'm touchy about anything, I don't really like to see anybody.
Let's move on to another point. What particular thing, song?
We got a minute left.
What particular song would you say you remember as being a breakthrough for you? Was it Blowing in the Wind?
No, it was the most honest and straight thing which I thought I'd ever put across that reached popularity, There's been a few. Blown in the Wind was to a degree, but I was just a kid, I didn't know anything about anything at that point. I just wrote that, and that wasn't it, really. Mr. Tambourine Man, I was very close to that song. I kept it off my third album just because I felt too close to it to put it on, that was a funnier way. The other, if you're talking about what breakthrough it is for me, I would have to say, speaking totally, would be Like a Rolling Stone, because I wrote that after I'd quit. I'd literally quit singing and playing, and I found myself writing this song, this long piece of vomit, 20 pages long. And out of it, I took Like a Rolling Stone, and we made it as a single. And I'd never written anything like that before, and it suddenly came to me that was what I should do. That's, nobody had ever done that before. A lot of people, anybody can write, a lot of the things I used to write. I just wrote them first because nobody else could think of writing them. But that's only because I was hungry, so, but nobody can, I've never met anybody or heard anything. I hear a lot. I'm not saying it's better than anything else. I'm saying, I don't think, I think Like a Rolling Stone is is definitely this thing which I do, and that's write songs. I don't like to. I'm not interested anymore now. After writing that, I wasn't interested in writing a novel or or a play or anything. Like I knew, like I just had too much. I wanted to write songs, because it was just a whole new category. I mean, nobody's ever really written songs, before, really. I mean, people have in older days, but those were sonnets and soft troubadour type things.
Oh.
Go ahead, I got half a minute or so.
Okay. Well, I know we're pushing time. You say you no longer can stay out late, as you've done all your life. That means a kind of one of your pastimes, one of your enjoyments has been cut down. What does Bob Dylan do when he wants to be entertained? Where does he go?
Oh my God, that's not a half a minute question there. Why don't you ask one to have a minute? I can't answer that right.
Okay, let me give you in a briefer way.
Yeah, sure.
What are some of your pastimes?
My pastimes? I have no pastimes. I have none at all. I just, I can't really name you anything. I could talk to you about it sometime if there's enough time, but I have none. I would love to say, bowling, or sailing, or roller skating, or painting, or I'd love to give you a hobby or something that most of the people, turn them on. But really, I can't really tell you anything. What I do is write and sing. I mean, I do it whether I'm getting paid for it or whether or not. I mean, that's all I do.
Mr. Dylan, thanks.